Okay, good morning, buenos dias, everybody. This is the Traders Talk, the high number of episode number 2, finally
Mm-hmm.
managed.
Yes.
21st of January, Thursday, 2021. The date is not really on the slide. We're in Quito, in Ecuador, and today we're going to be talking about psychology of an option and day trader, and especially about coping with losses. Me and Henrik, we both know something about that.
Mm-hmm.
And every trader, I think, has lost something sometime. If you never lost something in trading, probably you're not serious about it, or something is you just didn't even get started. What do you think, Henrik?
Yeah, everybody, there's no like 100% guys who just are successful in trading or in option or day trading. There will be losses on paper, and you know, today we're going to talk something about how to deal with them, right?
Exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll talk about everybody actually who is serious about trading, whether you trade options or day trading stocks, or you swing trading or you future trading. You will have some of those one day or another, and then depending on how you will react to these losses, you may end up continuing trading and being successful, or just giving up and dying and crying and being depressed. And we don't want you to go to that state. That's why we'll discuss this a little bit today. So we'll start with avoiding the losses. If is this even possible? Can you avoid the losses? Like I love this video, by the way. This is amazing. The face and the eyes and the smile. It's just yeah. So, but can you actually get to a situation where you never get losses while trading? Do you think it's possible?
No, that's a short answer. I don't think it's possible. There will be losses in your day trading, even if you are like option trader or any kind of portfolio manager, and then they are inevitable in this game, and you have to be how would you say, like accepting them and deal with them in the right manner.
Exactly. And that's what we want to
Mm.
actually talk about in here. By avoiding losses, we don't mean like that you will avoid them completely, but you can definitely do something to have less of them, to kind of manage them and make those losses insignificant enough so that they don't destroy your portfolio. And you feel okay with that. So it's to a level of, let's say, emotional pressure, which is acceptable. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we start with like point one, planning your trades. Could this be some technique to avoid or reduce losses?
Yeah, for sure. You have to every time you go in any trade, plan your trades, and that's include a lot of things in my
Yeah, watch. This guy clearly didn't avoid any
Yeah.
losses. He just smashed the whole account. He didn't plan his trade.
Yes. All the what I want to say is the like entry area where I want to enter. How is the overall like market? My position size, my stop losses, my profit targets, things like this, including in planning your trades, and also like yeah, that's what I add, like in shortly.
Yeah, for me also the same. Like I don't enter any trades if I don't plan them. So if I find something quickly and I'm like, oh, this looks cool, well, I will not just enter the trade. I'll probably look at the market first and then decide what my target would be. Where can I go with this? Do I see it's bullish? What's the bias of the market? How is the volatility? And then also plan for the loss. So that is included in the plan. So if I enter a trade, I know where I will exit and where I will stop. Yeah, basically. And if I don't have that plan, I don't press any buttons. And this is to me a technique to avoid major losses, because I can automate those, right? I can automate my exit and then my stop. It's independent if I'm trading stocks or options, right? Do you do this also on your day trading? Like, do you set hard stops on your planned trades, or do you do emotional ones mostly?
Well, I do hard stops. I used to do the mental stops, but then early in my career, but then I figured out that then comes this. hope in your mind that if the trade actually goes in against you and you are not actually cutting your losses, and then you get a little bit this in cycle that maybe it come back, and then the losses goes even further. But no, I use hard stops, and I use also profit targets with the ratios, at least 2-to-1. I prefer even 3-to-1 risk reward there, and then set the stop loss and also set the profit target on my platform.
All right. So stop loss is kind of like another point, which is risk management, and first sub point is stop loss and exit, right? That's what we just discussed. So when you guys, to avoid losses or to reduce the losses, always have them in place, either mentally, or it's better if they're automated. So you don't have to, be thinking about it and running into what Henrik just said, into the place where you're like, oh, maybe it's gonna come back, maybe it's gonna reverse, and then you see the Dear Diary guy who lost everything again because he didn't do it. He got the mental stop, and he didn't do nothing. Maybe he was unlucky because this went really quickly down. So next point is rules. Do you have any rules? Because for me, for example, when risk managing, I set some rules for myself in terms of, for example, I don't enter a trade without stop loss or exit or plan. But another rule can be if I'm running into a loss, on my option trade, and some of the trades which I have are very high risk and let's say high probability as well, but high risk. And when they start going against me, there is a place on some of the Iron Condor trades which is called I call it Bermuda Triangle. Where you kind of have to, if you wait a little bit, you're gonna end up with a win. But then if you don't and it starts moving against you even further, it can destroy your account, more or less. So, but the probabilities are very low of doing this. So you have this, oh my God, like, should I enter now, exit now? And I set some rules for my account size. So for example, if my account is 10K, I will never allow myself to lose more than 5% on one single trade. And this is like a hardcore rule. Do you also have some rules like that?
I have yes. I set my brokerage account. I have daily limit max loss for $200, and that's always, if I'm hit that, I'm done for the day. And then
is this automated?
This is automated, yes, but usually I don't trust just the automated. But I prefer to keep my losses small, and then if some reason I hit my max, I will get out and I don't trade. And another one is also that if I have 3 losses in a row, and they don't have to even be max losses, like even like $50 a day or something like this, but I lost 3 trades in a row, I stop.
Okay.
Usually I just, the market is not in my favor today, I'm not maybe right mood or something like this, so that's one of the rules.
Thinking about girls all the time.
For sure, yes. Those girls, yeah, they are amazing. I love women and girls.
Of course. Now we're out of the mind. That's how it works. Exactly. I got you to the point. Yeah. So 3 trades, you're not in your right mind, and then you're just like, okay, I'm not thinking straight, so out.
That's a couple of what comes to now. There's a lot of rules which I've written on my paper usually like this guy, but usually it's on my corner of the screen, and there's like, if trade goes with my favor, then I raise my stop losses or something like this, or I might even add on a trade if it goes right direction. A little bit for like positive rules as well there, so it doesn't have to be always like like follow these.
Well, it's just because we're mentioning avoiding the losses or basically reducing the losses. But obviously, if things start going up in your direction and you see that it continues, you kind of risk manage that. Okay, reduce your position, take some gains, or just add more if it goes the right way to increase your wins. Right?
Exactly.
So. Then what was the next one? Max loss per trade. We talked about this, yes. So my rule, discipline, following your own rules. We just talked, and discipline can be something very, very important because while you are in the trade, which is losing, that's where the discipline is going to be tested. So you have your set of rules, all right? You have your set of rules, and they're somewhere on paper or in your mind, better on paper or written down somewhere. And now comes the point where you need to pull the trigger. And that's where the discipline kicks in. If you don't have enough discipline, well, then what rules, they're worth nothing. The rules are basically worth nothing if you don't follow them.
Yes.
Yeah, and sometimes I must say that I don't follow sometimes my rules, and the discipline gets tested every time I lose on a trade. And I see, oh yeah, it might come back. Actually, I see technically it's possible to reverse, and it never fucking does. No, it just kills me, and then I'm very angry with myself that I didn't follow my own discipline. Have something like this still?
In my
Day trading.
I would say, the discipline, it's a bit technical though, but usually I increase the time frame what I trade, meaning that normally I trade 1 minute or 5 minute candle, but then I switch the time frame and it gives me a little bit more peace of mind and discipline for staying longer in that trade. Like this before it becomes a discipline. Following your own rules. Sometimes the same. I think the thing with day trading, it can be very compared to option trading that sometimes if I lose something, there is this discipline to push the button once again, and then hit on some support of again, and then if you're on a losing trade, then kind of make it back. Does it make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Like following your own rules in this way.
So is this your rule, or is this the rule which you don't want to follow?
Yeah, sometimes I don't. Yeah, this is one of my rules.
Things to avoid.
Things to avoid. Yeah.
Yeah, to not be emotionally triggered to make up for the loss quickly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's a good stuff. Yeah. Pulling the trigger we discussed. Option buying enough insurance. So when it comes to avoiding losses, and if you're an option trader and you build up your portfolio, you always have the possibility to insure or hedge your portfolio. And I encourage all option traders to have a little bit of insurance in their portfolios in case some trades reverse or market reverses or goes opposite direction that you were trading. Insurance usually is just simply a put contract or something like this, which you buy on S&P 500, and you can keep it for like a year or so. Long-term insurance, and depending on how bullish you are with the market, you can add up to insurance or remove it or reduce it. But it has been proving a lot of, being very useful for me over a period of time, because markets, they have these dips sometimes. They just go up and then they correct a little bit. And in these situations, I was like freaking out with my portfolio, but this was always saving my ass a little bit. Not completely, because it's just a hedge, but would absolutely allow me to avoid completely burning my account. So that's just for option traders. So there's a note there. So what's the most you ever lost in your trades? And then why actually did you lose? Why did you lose that much? Did you not follow your rules? Did you not set stop losses, or what was the reason? And just tell us.
Wow, that is what's the most you ever lost? I think I have blown out multiple accounts. So I gave some currency on the account, and then I lost it on
like the guy with the diary.
Like the guy in the diary for multiple times actually in my career, and that's really that hurts a lot. And the comeback for that, I go for, if this happens to you, and I don't know nobody who has ever lost like everything. Somebody have blown up their accounts, and it's different than in paper trading. But if this in real, guys, you go for live and you lost, then I keep weeks, even months, just don't even trade and go for paper, relax your mind. And then once you build, because then of the paper trading you can build the confidence up, you can build more of practice, you can build for everything, like trying different strategies, and that doesn't cost you losing currency on there or real digits on your account.
But can you
So
share, Henrik, how, like, why would you, like, what happened with the,
uh-huh.
you lost the whole account, but like, what was the reason for it? Did you like completely like lost your mind, or what? You didn't set losses, stop losses, stuff like this. What was the psychological reason which you were thinking that the thing's gonna come back and they never did?
I
Or was
think
it like some gap down and you just got fucked?
no, it wasn't like this. First of all, I think it was more in the beginning, like kind of an emotion, and it became for the revenge.
Uh-huh.
So I was hitting actually too much of share size and didn't use like any rules back in the day. So I was, I think, more of a gambling mode, let me say, and that was my couple of first mistakes when I make, and then I start to think slowly. That's what I say. Yeah. How about you?
Me? What's the most you ever lost? Probably around 7K, something like this, on the account, which was maybe 20K. Yeah, so half of it almost.
Wow.
And I didn't blow it because I had some insurance. It was on market correction, and I simply didn't follow any rules as well. Like you, I was not even having any rules. I was just gambling, and I was playing around with option contracts, which were like longer term, and high risk, low probability of going against me, but market corrected. And then the correction caused huge losses on those. And before I reacted, before I even saw, I didn't have even a routine to look at my trades on my phone. I just left it like that for a week. I didn't look. And then when I looked, I didn't have any alerts, nothing. When I looked at that, I was, oh man, and I didn't sleep for 3 or 4 nights because of that, because that was quite a bit of cash for me at that time. So I didn't have any stop losses. I didn't have any rules when it comes to max losses. I didn't have any discipline. I didn't have a calendar or routine to check my things. I didn't pull the trigger.
Okay.
What I did is finally I did pull the trigger when the losses were like really, really painful. It felt really difficult to press the button, knowing that you're gonna lose this 7K and they're never coming back. Just gone. So that was the most, what I ever lost. And I also did not trade on paper. I was trading live account before trading on paper, and had no understanding whatsoever. I was a complete idiot. But well, let's move on. So when shit hits the fan, I wanted to talk a little bit about this, about psychology and feelings, because there is difference. So how do you cope with your emotions when you're watching the losing trade right now? Like, let's say you're looking at it right now, it's on your account, see the position, which is like, let's say, going down clearly. How do you approach this trade? You wake up in the morning, you go, let's say it's swing trade for you, for me, like option trade or whatever. And you wake up in the morning and you see $500 loss, and what do I do now? How do you cope with this kind of things? Do you come to the trade calmly? How do you calm yourself more or less? Or because obviously we know that we as traders we need to approach things with our brain, not with our emotion. As cold as a reptilian, and then go there and like, how can you do this when you see you're losing?
Well, let's say that you have already like some stop loss there and it's still red, and maybe you are in this emotions and feeling state that it's going still there, and maybe you turn green, I don't know. But in terms of swing trading, I think the stop loss really hits the emotions, a little bit out of the game. But let's say if it's really hit your target and you lost, I would say, you have to step off the computer, like could do something else, go for a walk.
Yeah, but that's after, Henrik. Yeah. But how about like at the moment? So like you approach, you sit down on your computer, you see this 500 red color, thing, and then your emotions jump up. You're like, what should I like? How do you calm yourself down? I want to know what's your practice.
Okay, like this way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah. breathe a lot, and I think that's calming me down, because sometimes I feel that, when I'm like nervous and anxious, that I try to hold my breath, and I feel that my pulse goes up, and then I get more stressed. Couple of breaths, I would say, and maybe a little bit meditation there. Some kind
during
of
the freaking trade. Can you do that?
Not during the day, but some minutes, some 2 minutes, 1 minute. That's really takes you like in the body and in the now, and then you know probably more what to do. That's what I say, in the now.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
Because I also do the same kind of like thing when I sit and I see a big loss. My first immediate reaction is to do something, and then I stop myself, and then I look at it and I load the charts. And first of all, I look at S&P 500. I look what happened. Read a little bit through, what's going on, and look at the minutely chart, which you do anyway. And then see if this thing is going, is this slowing down, what's the momentum, and like you give myself some time to breathe. And then when I get out of these emotions and I can feel that my body and my, energy is kind of calm and accepting already that loss, then I set some things on the, like let's say new stop loss if I didn't have one, or I just exit the trade, and then like you said, leave the freaking computer. But I give myself a lot of time, and breathing is one of the things which I also do. I sometimes go also make myself a tea,
Okay.
Just go out to the kitchen, make tea, watch it, and then calm down, and come back. It's difficult, it's really difficult.
It's difficult, yeah.
Yeah, but it's very important to not be reactive, I think, and just breathe. So, and pull the trigger, So post-loss feelings and coping with it, so that's what you already mentioned. You said like you leave the computer, you take your loss, but how do you deal with the feelings now so that you're not like destroyed, and and how does it work for you? How do you usually feel? Do you are you destroyed for like 1 day or 2 days, and or it just goes away in the 30 minutes and you can continue going?
I think it depends a lot for the amount you lost, because to me, like $50, $100, it doesn't affect me so much. But if it then is my max loss or something, and I did something against all my rules, that's really put me down, and that can last for 1 day and evening, and it's hard to get out. But how to cope with that is I think it's important to get out of the head and into your body, and go for a run or push-ups. I don't know, guys for there put some gyms or somewhere. Be social, go talk to people, a woman for example, and that's really helps. And everybody, as we already mentioned in the beginning, that have losses in there, and it's inevitable in this trading industry, and
so have some understanding.
And understanding, and
that everybody's got this, right? So you can put in your mind like I'm not the only one, and it's not the end of the world, but of course it's not pleasant, but you do the same like me. I usually have a bad day, a completely bad day, 1 day, like just can forget talking to me. I just think about this, but then getting like good coffee, something, go out, like you say, be in the nature, and and understand that everybody's got that there are people who were in the worse situation than you, and next day comes in and maybe trade a little bit on paper for the couple of next days.
That can be also a good idea.
So that's the feelings, turning bad into the good. So the thing happened, it was bad, now we meditated, we did spend some time in nature, we talked to women, and then we relaxed, whatever. And now kind of like, so what happened? How can we actually learn from that experience? So also always remember, when shit hits the fan, it does not mean that the end of the world happened. Actually, it's an opportunity to learn something. And so lessons learned, have your journal. Do you have a journal?
I have a journal, yes. It's on Evernote, and to me the planning the trade, it also after the trading as well. So it goes in the same sheets, and then write it down. What I was thinking. First of all, like all the technicals, whatever positions was the right. Did I follow all the rules? The risk reward was it there? If it was okay, maybe it was something mental. Then write this down. What maybe didn't sleep well or something. You were thinking about whatever, and you were not in the moment. So write this down, and easier said than done to learn from them and not repeat them. But once you do it over and over again, then I think it becomes a little bit your second nature, and you try to follow yourself.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, exactly. You define a set of rules basically. So new rules come in. Yeah, and then of course they will not be, if they're not burned into your head and brain and whatever. They're just in the journal. They're not really working. But if you repeat and repeat, like you said, then eventually they will become your nature and valid for the next trades. There is actually, we had this cool idea about creating this software, for journaling, which actually when shit hits the fan, reminds you of all the lessons you had in the past. But that's, here now. Persistence, discipline, shaping. So it's just, don't get discouraged by when the situations, when shit hits the fan, that happens to everybody. Stay persistent with this process that you're running through. Like if you're day trading, you have your set of rules, you have your stop losses, you have all those rules. Persist, stay with that, and also don't leave trading. That's not reason enough to leave trading, and just be disciplined. And all this situation, when the shit hits the fan, basically shapes your discipline, because the more it happens, the more disciplined you're gonna be if you stay persistent and stay in trading, right?
Yeah.
This is also for you. Did you have any time, during your career in trading, the time when you were like, I'm fucking gonna leave this, I'm not going to be trading anymore because it's not for me, it's bullshit, and I'm angry, and and you had this feeling?
Yeah, I had it sometimes for sure, but I didn't never agreed on this, that I will give everything and do something else in my life. No, it was breaking moments for losing account really crushed me, and I was crying sometimes even when I lost everything. But I never give up. I came back a couple of months later, and then or after, and then paper traded, and then when shit hits the fan, you have to start then slow again. Don't try to make everything back on one trade or something. Slowly, and that's how you build your discipline and your persistence and your strategy.
I had exactly this kind of situation with my paper trading account that I'm sharing with guys for this little account, 5K. And there was right in the second week of when I started the program, I made terrible decisions. I mean, I didn't know, on gold, and it smashed, let's say, 10% or more of the account in one, really one day, because it just dipped down crazily. And I had immediately this reaction, which you said, I need to make up for this loss. Shit hit the fan. Now it's crazy, because I wanted to show guys how to double the account, and it just destroyed it a little bit, So it went down, and I was like, oh shit, I need to make it back very quickly. But actually then the discipline and persistence kicked out in my head and said, no man, you need to take time to come back up, rebuild the account. It's gonna take a lot of time maybe, but you will bring it back. And then you will start from that on again, slowly, And, that keeps you away from this reptilian part of the brain, which is reactive and doing things quickly, and more logical thinking and coming up with some strategies and so on. It's very important. So now my account is back to a little bit above 5K, which is great. So recovery happened,
It is, I want to say that, when you are, because we are both trading our own currency and a retail traders, it's actually harder for us to, if shit hits the fan, actually take away yourself the capital what you are actually using, even though you have the buying power there to use it, to really stick to it and trade a half of size or even a quarter of size normally. compared to guys who are like in banks, hedge funds, or things like these, when there is this manager who actually give them capital if they trade very well, but then if they shit the hand and they take away.
Yes.
So in this sense, they are kind of protected. So here you have to be your own protector and
protect your own capital.
Yeah, protect your own and being disciplined to follow the rules.
Because there is difference when you're trading your own currency or you're trading someone else's currency. You're detached emotionally. It's different emotions if you trade paper or you trade someone else's currency or you trade your own account and actually you're living life based on what you have on that account. So if you wipe it away, like it can destroy your lifestyle. You may have to go back to a job or something. You know? It's completely different emotions. Sometimes, they're really strong. It's more difficult to be persistent and disciplined. But like you said, you need to be having that because no one is going to protect you. So very important. Journaling, finding trades that did and did not work for you. So for me, what I mean in this point is like if you run your journal, so when the shit hits the fan and you have some lesson there, you put it in the journal, and at some point of time you will have a list of journaled items, and you will see which type of trades or setups were working for you in general, or 80% of the time, and which were not working for you, like 80% of the time, not working. So if you have a journal, you can actually have that, visualized, and then just decide trading the things that work for you. So that's a good thing about when the shit hits the fan. It actually teaches you and tells you something about where you're good and where you're bad. Right? Do you have also similar? Because I have this kind of experience with options. I know that some strategies don't work for me at all because I'm maybe not built up for this, and some other they work good for me. Do you have? Something?
Yeah, I have similar. Like usually after the 30 minutes of the market open, when things are less volatile, then I'm usually more of my best than at the, like when I trade setups at the open. Let's say first 10 minutes, they can be very tough and I'm not really good at them at the open. So I really a little bit avoid the first half an hour, and then I know my stats, I know which setups is working. I use this trader view and you can actually tag trades. Then once you tag and once you have as you said the list of data or the setup which are working for you, you can see actually where you are good and where you are not.
Yeah.
So it's journaling is important here.
I also think so. And so you guys, when you don't forget journal, and especially the beginning traders, when you don't know yet, where you're good at and so on. So last point, taking a break and paper trading. So if the account was blown, like in my case, by nearly 50%, maybe it's a great idea to take a breath for longer. Take a break, take a breath for longer, and stay away from your live account. Just try to understand what the hell happened, why did you end up in this situation, and then switch back to paper trading. And then practice more, because if you practice more, then the probability of you generating losing trades goes down. So the more practice you have, the less likely it's going to be in the future that you're going to be having these huge losses. And taking a break is also good. Like leave trading for a week or two. Just go away, do something else, and then come back to it fresh mind. Is sometimes a really good idea when the shit hits the fan in very hard manner. You think so?
I think so too. Yeah. When I lost everything, I took a couple of months off and did not trade at all and went back to basics and studied a lot of my past trades. I review everything and slowly then come back. Slowly paper trade here. I probably paper traded after my couple of losses for a couple of weeks, and then back in the horse and
riding the horse
again. And then try it again.
I like. And man, actually, you mentioned something really good because you said like I started reading. So this is what I didn't put on this slide, but it's very important actually. When shit hits the fan, you're very sensitive.
Yeah.
And you're really willing to learn more because you clearly made mistakes. So grab a book, take a break, grab a book, read something more. Your brain is going to be super focused on the new information. And also watch videos, especially when you're having losses and you don't know what's going on. Seek videos because your brain is just going to suck that in.
Yeah. And I have exactly came to my mind of these moments when I lost everything and then back to reading. That once I was reading, I had this moment that, oh man, this like aha awareness or moment, and I didn't do this, and why I keep repeating, for example, going against the markets or something like this when I'm supposed to be trading with the markets, and I was like, aha, this was the, for example, most of my back in the days reasons why I lost, and then once I read, I, as you said, figured out what works, and what you start to brain starts to analyze things and put the pieces in the puzzle.
Exactly. I had the same experience. So very important, guys. When you have losses, it's not the end of the world. It's an opportunity. So your brain's hyperactive then, and you will learn a lot. So. But of course, it's better if you're paper trading, having these losses on paper, and then get the book. So like this. So moving on, coming back to the trading on paper, guys. Those of you who never tried option trading or day trading, well, try actually different types of trades on paper and figure out actually which technique is best for you, because we're two, Henrik is day trader, I'm option trader. We have two different approaches. Of course, we handle emotions, we're human beings, so we handle emotions the same way, but they appear in a different way, depending on if you're an option trader or day trader. And important for you because same like with the strategies, some strategies or setups are good for you, or you work with them very good, and with the others you don't. Same with trading styles. Some of you may be extremely good day traders, but shitty option traders. Some of you may be good swing traders, but really bad day traders. Important to try all of this on paper and lose your accounts on paper first. Try to trade and lose your account. Do all that there is, the experiment, and see if this is for you, if you're really good with this or bad, and then make the decision to whether you want to be a day trader or option trader. What do you think?
I agree, and I would say here that once you trade on a paper, be realistic what you want to put. Once you have confidence in the paper trading and you know which style is good for you, then trade on the same amount of currency on the paper than you would trade on real account. That's what I would say. Yeah. So don't if you have 100,000 on paper, don't trade then and come for option trading and then trade for 10k in the same way you would trade in 100k. Yeah. So
it's very nice what you said, because I made that mistake with my students actually. And when I was first trading the 100k account on options, having my strategies established, and I'm like, it's no problem to trade 5k account, because I know what I'm doing. But actually I didn't calibrate for a smaller account, and that was one reason why I lost so much cash in percentage wise on the 5k account in the beginning, because my strategies were just not fitting totally. And I didn't practice paper trading on a small account before. So very, very important what Henrik just said. Moving on, we're just finishing here. So guys, if you're interested in any type of trading, day trading or option trading, you can contact me and Henrik for day trading. You can get in touch with us on email. This is on Option Mindful. We also have private emails, whatever. DM us. Also, you can go to Online Academy on Option Mindful. Just visit the website. There is an Instagram profile. There is YouTube channel where you can see some demo videos from me mostly. This video will be also on Option Mindful YouTube. And of course, you can always send me a message on Option Mindful Instagram if you're interested in some training, coaching, mentoring, or just even advice, what to read, where to start. We're always happy to give the advice. Henrik will give you advice on day trading. I will give you advice on option trading. So hope you guys enjoyed this. And I think we record some more
we can do-
episodes soon.
Let's do that.
2021 will be the year of episodes of Traders Talk.
All right.
So get ready for this. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Henrik.
Yeah.
Ciao.